Well, hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Happy Tactics where we are playing Satisfactory. And I've made some progress since the last video, including unlocking this monster, this behemoth, which I think is called a manufacturer. Is that right? Where we can make all kinds of things. Yes, and if you look at the front here, four inputs to make all kinds of variety of things, and one little output in the back. And you can see what I'm working on right now. It turns out that in order to complete phase 3, we have to make modular engines and, what's the other thing? These adaptive control units. And both of those recipes, this one requires rubber, which I have to get from my petroleum, which currently I don't even have. Let me throw some more in there. And the other one requires plastic. So both of those requiring, that looks like nasty fumes. I probably shouldn't be breathing that. Not that Fix-It is concerned about my health in any way whatsoever. But so that's kind of a game changer, because everything is right here, and my nearest petroleum factory, as you know, is way over there, a couple kilometers over there actually. So what does that mean? Well, we could truck things in here. I've heard that trucks can be a little unreliable, and I was actually looking to unlock something else, and that's right. What did I unlock? I unlocked trains, monorails. So that's what we're going to be experimenting with today. Can I make a gargantuan train system that can bring some of those resources here? So I kind of have a plan of that. It's kind of a mishmash plan, but and I have no idea. I have no idea if it's going to work. This is this is my newbie playthrough of this game. But my plan, I was thinking, was this field right here. I'm going to just make this into a monstrous train station. And in fact, I'm thinking about using for the train station. I have been using these metal foundations, but someone mentioned that you can make. Where is it now? It's not under foundations. It's like. Is it architecture? No, or is it customizer? It might be down materials. I think it's here. I can actually change to concrete and use concrete, which I have a ton of, to make concrete foundations. And I think it's cheaper. I kind of like, in some ways, the aesthetic of these things for the factories, just because it's so industrial looking. But I like the idea of a giant concrete slab for my railways and going out here. So my plan is this. I don't know if this is a good plan. It's just the plan. And the plan is somewhere around right here, I will make my train station. And I'm going to send it on this massive loop that's going to go out here. I have a sulfur mine here, and there's coal here. So I'm thinking about setting up a little explosives factory here, or at least, I don't know if there's iron. So at least black powder. So maybe it'll pick up black powder here, come around here. I've built up the petroleum stuff, so I'm making rubber and plastic. I've expanded that out quite a bit, and then maybe cycle back, get some deuterium, and then maybe even pull down here, get quartz, and run around to back where it started. This is a monstrous loop. I have no idea if it makes sense. There's different ways you can do these trains, and I don't really know what this is going to work or how many problems I'm going to have. Probably a bunch, but you'll be there, right there with me as I make problem after problem. And what I'm actually also really excited about, at least initially, trying to figure out how these things work, is that when I take the trail line, it's going to come through here, and it's going to, I'm going to have to deal with this little belt somehow, but I would love to make a massive bridge across this chasm. I even debated putting the train station in there, because there is a lot of room for it, and maybe it makes sense to have like a train depot there. But then part of me was just excited about the possibility of making a giant bridge. So we'll see. Maybe it does make sense to put. Looking at the size of this, I really could do a massive foundation down here and just turn this cavern into, or kind of whatever you'd call this, depression, into a train station, and would just head up the hill and down there. But at the same time, I want to see the trains coming by. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm going to play with some things. Maybe this is still a little too uneven for that. I could do something similar down here, now that I think about it. But ultimately, those resources from the train are going to have to be brought all the way over here, so that I can start building out the foundry and making all the things I want to make. So this is going to be very much expanded, I think. I've already got some of my other factory parts over there. But that's the idea, is bring those resources in from the train station to over here. So what makes the most sense? I don't know. I don't know. I think it's half of it's aesthetics, but the other half is just how does this thing, what's it going to look like? You know, I mean, it's got to, sorry, how's it going to function, and then how's it going to look? I do like the idea of a giant bridge. And maybe even kind of have it like an arched bridge that goes over this way. But at the same time, I mean, looking at this would make a really freaking awesome train depot. But there are hills here, and maybe the trains don't work so well with hills. I think they do okay, but it would have to take that hill over there in order to go down the pathway to where I want them to go. So not sure, a couple design decisions to make. I'm going to play around with some things, and I'll bring you back in when I figure out what seems to make the most sense. See you in a few minutes. All right, folks, there it is. I've decided I just do like the idea of a giant kind of viaduct spanning this huge chasm rather than building it down there. Maybe I'll change my mind later on. I don't know, because I think the whole point of these trains is to bring your resources in as close to your base as possible. And so that's what I want with this. Now, I could just, by the way, use a chainsaw to get that down, but I find it somehow strangely more satisfying to blow things up. But yes, so this giant, massive platform here, I think is going to serve us well when it comes to what I need for my. Let me zoop this thing. What do I do here? Zoop. It's going to serve us well. Oh, I'm missing concrete. Who would have thought? You do blow through a lot of concrete with this, but boy, is it fun. So yeah, so the next plan is just to, again, to kind of finish off this platform and then set down some train stations. Again, I'm thinking about a loop. There is a push-pull method that you can use. I'm not even sure if I like that ramp. I just kind of put it there to see how it would fit in, but I might bring the train around more like in a loop over here. We'll see where the train station looks best. And then cycle back from over here somewhere. I don't even know where. Maybe it's going to come from behind there. I got to scout out the landscape. We'll see. I don't mind my loop having some little twists and turns. And I did the concrete there for the bridge, but I also like the idea of the railway just going against right on the ground, because you know, I just feel like that would look cool. So again, the rule of cool is what we're dealing with here. So let me get a few more batches of concrete here. That should last a little while. And we're going to expand this concrete platform and see what we can do in terms of setting up a train station that makes sense. And after we do, oh, that looks cool, just like that. Again, with the whole train here, that was a brilliant idea on the part of the builders, the designers, to do that. Oh, there's some gas stuff up there. It sounds like I need to throw a bomb at it. Let's see. Yeah. Yes. Great way to get rid of the poison stuff. Again, I think you can do other things with this, and I'll give some proper supports underneath eventually. Again, I'm sort of thinking of this as sort of in sketch mode, really. So just trying to figure out kind of what I need or how much room I need. I don't even know how big to expect these train stations to be, but I do kind of like, at least to some degree, fitting in with the natural environment rather than just everything being on big rectangles. So this has sort of a natural curved edge as it goes into the hillside there. We'll see what difference that makes. So I think I'll play around with the train station placement a little bit, because it's probably not the most exciting thing to watch. And hopefully when you come back, you'll see something that looks like a train depot. I guess we'll see. Okay, folks, we are back. And this is the train station Skvod, I guess. So here's what I've figured out, I think, is that you have to build a train station, of course. There's a certain thing called a train station, and then you need a freight platform. That's for loading and unloading different materials. And I think you need one for each item you are, for each item that you're loading and unloading. I'm just guessing here. I don't know. I'm going to try to do this. And then you need an electric locomotive that's to pull the cars, and then you have each freight car carries one type of material. So because I'm looking at, and then you have railways and platforms and, oh my gosh, hypertubes. I haven't even tried to play hypertubes, but the plan is again to go from my train station. Oh, and I think we'll be able to see our train on the map and do this big loop around. Who knows? Is that a water mine? I didn't even know I had one of those. Anyway, come around here and then loop back somehow. And so in doing that, I need to pick up at least 3 things. I might expand this a little bit later, but that's what I've got. And so now it comes down to actually laying the track, at least, to start with. And I'm curious how flexible this, okay, this is interesting. So it's steel and pipes, so I'm going to definitely need a lot of those. Overlapping. It doesn't like anything that I'm doing here. I guess it wants mostly straight. So I might adjust my ramp here. I think it's the clipping is the change in elevation, but railroad track turns too sharply. Okay, so that's going to be a little tricky in terms of making our railway do what we need it to do. And of course, I'm not caring about clipping right now. I'll make things look pretty later. I have my power lines and my coal line going to my coal field here. But let's see if I can just make this work a little bit nicer for this. Maybe if I just build, that's the 4-foot ramps. I'm using the 2-foot ramps. I would have thought, the 2-meter ramps. I thought that would be good enough, but maybe not. Let me just build, oops, come on now, talk to me. I know I'm not building it, I'm not snapping it to a grid because I'm trying to make this thing follow a more organic path. So let's do that one, that's fine. Let's do this. And then maybe I'll have to incorporate somehow some curves into my little arrangement here, but let's just see. Again, I'm just trying to figure out the dynamics of it, see what these railways can do and cannot do. So let's see. It doesn't like much of anything. It'll clip if it goes. It doesn't want to do much of a height. So what if I just do it the barest turns? And then take it up here. Will it be able to do that? Boy, it's very sensitive. Did I even attach it in the right spot? Let me see. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is a big boy. So I guess doing tight little turns is not what it wants to do. But I bet we can. I bet we can still force it to do some stuff. After all, yellow just means we got some clipping. Let's see what happens if I just kind of make it do this little turn here. I'm in the way, of course. I would love it to get... What's in the way now? Me? Too short, turns too sharply. All right. I don't know how long these can get either. Let's see. Okay, so far so good. Again, the ability to just sort of fly would be kind of neat. And I think you can get that. Whoopsie, I did not mean to do that. What the heck? Yeah, see, so I'm going to have to tweak this, but that's okay. This is the Mark I train here. We're just getting started with this. Oh, I can't run backwards, can I? So this is clearly going to take a while. But I will say my route, I think, will be an interesting one, and I'll have to come back and fix everything that looks wonky. I'm about to run out of materials probably, and let's see what it can handle in terms of space here. Oh, that is not pretty. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to go back and fix that. But let's see what it can do in terms of taking a turn. Okay, so it can take a pretty good turn. That's not bad. I'm okay with a little bit of clipping because I think that doesn't detract from what it's trying to do. I probably need to take care of these guys. I know... is that a doggo? Or what is that? Not those guys. Let's try this. That's so much fun. Maybe it shouldn't be, but it sure is. Okay, so again, it might get a little saucy, some of this rail line, and I'll go back and fix it later. But let's see. Again, we're going to take the rail line. My plan, there's a really nice path, probably intended to be some sort of pathway. And again, I'm going to get down the basics and then improve it later. Because the other thing I'm dealing with is I put down all of these towers, and the towers are definitely going to get in the way of my train system here. But that's okay, because that's part of the fun. Ooh, I like kind of a roller coaster action kind of thing happening here. And I'll tell you what I'm talking about, like right here. This was a great place for a... oh, well, excuse me. Oh, okay. Whoops. Gotta take care of him. That's better. It's amazing the problems that explosives can fix, you know. But so yeah, so my idea was that there's this wonderful walkway that goes all the way down the edge here and just follows the side of the canyon, and it'd be a really cool place to put the train and then ride the train down here. But it might require tweaking some things like the placement of some of these towers, which I'm okay with. But it'll take some work, I think. So I think I will be working on that for the next little while, and then again I'll bring everybody in when I feel like I've got some progress. So let's see what we can do. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I've brought my monorail down this way, my clearing out stuff with explosives, both animals and vegetable alike, and I'm down here near where the coal is, and so if I look at my map, here's my coal and here is my sulfur. So I'm thinking it makes sense to build a little coal mine here, and then somewhere here in the middle where it makes sense I can have a little station, a little factory and a station set up. So sort of a combination factory and train loading station for my explosives. So first time I've done this, so let's see what happens. So I'm going to let's see, what's that under? Production, right? I can do a... I don't know that I need a Mark II, but you know, might as well future-proof a little bit. So I'll have that there, and so let me go back and see where it makes sense to some place that can relatively flat, and then I'll just I don't, you know, you hate to run conveyor belts forever, but that is a part of this game, definitely, is running the conveyor belts. And so let's see, so this is about the halfway point. Not a bad little spot, actually, under this little cleft, which is kind of cool. So maybe this could be where I could bring both sulfur and coal in here. So let's see what happens. So if I go to transportation and I want to pick I guess you have to have both a platform and, oh, so there's some, okay, so it likes to be on even ground. So it definitely looks like I'm going to need to remove some of this monorail that I put down and get sort of like a more level base, which is fine. That makes sense, coming over here, because there's a lot of room, I think. Some of these places I still haven't really done much with, which is kind of cool. So I'll have to continue to explore a little bit. So let's put down some foundations, and you know what? I might as well put these again. I just slap this stuff down and see what things look like, and then decide later on what makes the most sense. Oh, there's something there as a resource. Oh yeah, so you gotta mine the resources, unfortunately. You can't just blow them up or build something with them. So that's going to be trash. I don't need iron ore, but good to know it's there, a little piece. So let's see what else I can do. I might have to build out more in this area. So let's see what happens. I just, again, there's exact footprints for all this stuff. That is not what I'm going for. I'm just going for something functional that I can make work even better next time. So, walling all this off. And then let's see. So there again is my railway. If it were to come down here, and again, I think what I need is just one train station, one load. I assume all I need is one loading dock. Let me see if I can blow this up, actually. Surprisingly, a lot of the stuff in this game is blow-upable. I can really change the landscape, but I can't do anything with those, which is interesting. Okay. All right, that's okay. I can still, I'll zoop out as much as I can here, and then we'll see where this leads us. All right, I know that guy's in the way. They just sort of stand there. They're, I guess, cute in their own little weird way. It's funny that I can't get rid of all that. All right. I hate to do it. Get out of the way, buddy. We got things happening. Oh dear, is he caught in a... progress. Can be such a pain. Okay, so let's see. I think I might have enough room to work with anyway. I just want to make sure... Again, I'm not interested in making my train stations snap so much because I think I want them to sort of go with the flow of where I want my everything else to go. But it looks like it does want to snap. Either way, it's going to try to snap things, which is interesting, I guess, because that has to do with just the demands of the landscape. Well, in that case, it probably makes the most sense to be. I don't want to block the exit, but that's inconvenient too. Boy, kind of limited here. Okay, what if we did that? And then we will have the freight platform attached in such a way so that I can load it from this end. And hopefully that'll be all it needs, because then it will be able to load whatever it needs to load in there. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. We'll see what happens. And then maybe that's enough room for that track to come meet up here. But I need to have my little factory in here to make it all work. So let's maybe meet the track first. And what I really like is that it does go out of its way to make the track conform to the landscape, which I think is very cool. I know there's some of that. Are you going to be able to attach? Track turns to track. No choices. Okay. So I'm going to have to bring this down a little bit more. And then let's see what happens. Is this okay? I'm in the way, but still turns too sharply, huh? How do I make it not turn as sharp? Still turns too sharp. I'm not even doing anything. And I can't. Okay. So for whatever reason, it seems to think this last. Oh, it is a little too tight. I guess it has a limited turn radius. So what I'll need to do is maybe back up the track even more, and build it right over through that. Let's see what happens if I do that. So, okay, I'm gonna get my railway and come down here. It's like a roller coaster ride, man. I can't wait to ride it. Okay. So again, yeah, just for whoever's playing, it is, you know, it's pretty robust, but it does have requirements. And clearly I'm not meeting one of its main requirements, which has to do with the turn radius. Well, I'll keep working on that offline, but the plan is to make this into a little explosives factory, load it up in here, and honestly, this is one of those terrible decisions where I don't know if it works until I get the whole thing done, because it's a loop. So I'm going to have to debug this whole thing, but that's part of the fun. So we'll see if this works. I'll bring you back in when I figure out a little workaround with this situation. All right, folks, here we are watching the coal stream in from a very long Mark II line, I think that is, and going into an assembler here. And then here's the way I ended up doing the track. It turns out you don't have to build the trains on the platform, which is kind of nice, actually. I think it kind of looks cooler that way. But I did the factory on the platform. Just can't get rid of these stalagmites, but whatever, but that's okay. Just again, going for proof of concept. So here we go, everything's working, and then I'm loading up, I'm making black powder here, and then going to be loading up this, which I think serves as a, if I look at this, I want to say it's train settings. We will go to load, and yeah, so it'll just load all this up and put as much on the train as it can, which is pretty cool. So so there we go. So you load up the train station. It seems to be kind of like one of these storage containers, and then I'm hoping the train knows where to stop and get the load from. So we'll see. We'll see. Again, yeah, little bit of clipping here. Going to fix that later, but that's okay. All this is proof of concept stuff. So what I'm going to do now, so that gets me my explosive factory. I wanted that, and now I'm going to head down to petroleum, because what I really need is the rubber and the plastic. So I feel pretty certain that there's some bad guys waiting for me down there, because I didn't really clear out this area, and I think things kind of respawn in an interesting way. I'm not sure exactly what the rules are, but so let's see. I'm going to just start bringing the track around, and then start. Is this coal? Oh, that's coal too. Interesting. How I want to bring this down. Actually, there's some stuff over here I might want to check out too. I haven't really done a whole lot of exploring on this particular area, just because I was kind of more laying out the land. But who knows? There might be some goodies over here. Just want to keep an eye out for. But there's a bad guy. But let's see. Must be guarding something. Is that a Mercer sphere? What is that thing? Is that what that is? I have those, and I don't even know what to do with them. So I don't have the other components that I need. One step at a time, please. But what I'm thinking about is actually making kind of a cool thing here. If I bring, let's see, what is the best way? I want to make it down there to the water, right? Because that's the idea, is to cross over this lake. There is a beach there, which is kind of cool. And again, I don't know how steep these railways can get. They do a pretty good job of conforming to the landscape, but that's a heck of a drop. I don't see them doing that very well. So yeah, maybe should have sent out my engineers to do a little bit more planning before I just floor it in a certain direction. But that's going to be my challenge, because once I get across this, imagine going across this water. You got a beach over here. You got, oh, is that a, no, I don't know what that is. A waterfall down here. So cool. Oh, he's trying to kill me. Man, get in line. Where'd you go? Oh, dear. That's not what I wanted to do. Boy, these little quick legs live up to their name. What? See ya. That's one of my favorite parts of the game. I hate those little things. So yeah, so I got to figure out how to get down there. So I might end up building a bit of an elaborate bridge and make it look pretty later. But I want to just get down here. Let's see what I can blow up here, because you know, the thing about this game and these explosives is that you can blow up just about anything. Yeah, look at that. that massive thing is now gone. I mean, some of the landscape is permanent, but that apparently wasn't. But yes, so what's left here? I want to get down there, so that's what I'll probably do. Let me stake out a good route down here to the beach, and then we'll get our train across the way and see what we can see. Okay, I think I've killed all the bad guys on the beach with bombs, of course, because that is the only way to kill bad guys in this game. And I think I found a nice little way down. There is a nice little path. I'm hoping, again, the turn radius of these things, beware, you know, they're limited. But I think we can make it work. I think it might just take some tweaking to make everything happy. It will be a heck of a ride, I will say. The plan was to go... Oh, I saw blue. It went blue. Oh, that's gonna be so sweet. Look at that. Gracefully down here. And then you're on the beach, man. You're on a train. On monorail on the beach. I wouldn't build a monorail on the sand for what it's worth, but boy, it'll get us a nice view. So yeah, I think next, so basically what I'm planning on doing, we got a few more minutes. Let me just see what I can do here. I'm going to try to take this a little bit further. Can I go over? I can't go over water. It's expecting a little bit more there. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably end that there and consider building something to get this thing across the water. That's what I think I need to do. So let me, there's some bad guys over here. Let me see if I can take them out from a distance. Of course, the only way to take out bad guys in this game. Let's see, can I throw something that far? All right, let's find out. Hey-ya! It made him mad, maybe? How could that not have... Must have gotten close to him. Oh, he knows I'm here, I guess. Hey, I got a whole... I'm gonna have an explosive factory. Ah, I don't think I'm quite getting to him. A little bit farther. Oh. I know I can get to that. I'm having to just guess distance. Again, are there better ways of doing this? Yeah. There we go. And then I guess, I mean, I can... into the drink with you. I think these guys have like a blast radius. So you know what I'm going to do there is the old crouch technique. It works so well. I don't know if I can crouch in the water. Maybe I can. I just need to get rid of it and build something. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Swim, swim. Yep, 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 yep. Get away, get away, get away, get away, get away. I hate those little lady firebug things. They sting. Well, what's the best way to handle that? I'm going to say bombs. They seem to be the best answer for most things. I think they have blast resistance, those things, but I'm going to give it a shot. Might as well end the episode with a bang, so to speak, you know? Let's see if I can get it just right. Nope, I did not. All right. Boy, that was a clever placement of that thing, because it's just... Let's try a little bit higher. I wish I could throw it right in its mouth. I think I did. But I don't think it mattered. Because this thing is like impenetrable. There we go. Yeah, where are you gonna go now? Where's your mommy? Where's your mommy? I don't know, do they just hang out there? Okay, so what I think I need to do is build something like a graceful arc. I don't know. I'll try to do this off camera, and when I pull over there, I don't know if you can see, I should share with you. I did manage to come up with some cool things over here. I did make a separate factory, one for rubber, using one of the oil nodes, and one for plastic. So hopefully, doing pretty well in that regard. So this is I believe it's my plastic one. Looks like they're still making plastic. Not at the speed of light, doesn't matter. I'm playing the long game here, but we got a lot of plastic in there waiting for us. That's what I want to load up on the trains, and this guy hopefully generating a fair amount of rubber, which it is. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of exciting. So that's the plan, is to connect these guys up somehow to a station. I'm thinking some kind of a floating platform out here that I can use to bring my train goods in, which would be kind of a cool thing. But I just like the idea of soaring out around here on the water. So I think for the sake of time, I'll end the episode there. I'll do a little building offline and then show you what we got next. Thanks so much for joining me on this crazy, bizarre ride as we try to discover this game together. Hope you're enjoying it. Hope you're learning something. I'm sure you're better at this game than I am already. Boy, it's been a fun ride. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you on the next episode of Happy Tactics.